Hello class, today we are doing Red P for practice 2.2. Okay, so let's take a look. Here they ask that we add or subtract and write the fraction in simplest form. Okay, here we have -8 plus a -6/7. All right, because the 8 is a negative integer and because the 6/7 is a negative integer and they're being added, we just combine the two. So this will be a -8 and 6/7. Okay? All right, let's move on to number 4. Excuse me, on number 4, here we have 1/6, -1/6 minus 5/12. Well, because we have an integer situation here, we are going to change this negative sign or subtraction here, and then we're going to change the sign that follow. The 5/12 will become negative. So both of them are negative. So we need to combine the two. But because we have fractions with unlike denominators, we need to change them and make them equivalent to have the same denominator. So it is easier to change the 6 to a 12 by simply multiplying by 2. So if we multiply the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2, we will have a -2/12 plus the -5/12, and then therefore we can combine them because they have the same sign, and so we have -7/12 already or in simplest form. Let's take a look now at number 6. On number 6, once again, because the integers, we don't subtract integers, we change the sign, and then we change the sign that follows. Okay, so now we have a +5 3/4 and a +4 and 5/6. Okay, so now once again the denominators are unlike, so we need to make them alike, and then therefore in this case we can make them both 12ths. So to make this 12th, we multiply it by 3. Okay, to make this 12th, we multiply it by 2. Okay, so therefore we have 5. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus we have 4. 5 times 2 is 10. And 6 times 2 is 12. Now with the like denominators, we can move forward. We are adding whole numbers. 5 plus 4 is 9. Numerators, 9 plus 10 is 19 over 12. Okay, so now in a situation like this, we have more numerators than denominators, so therefore we can create a mixed fraction. If we create a mixed fraction, we would ask 19 divided by 12, how many 12s are in 19? It would be 1. So we would carry it over here to the other whole number. How many would be left? Would be 7. So therefore, our new fraction is 10 and 7/12. Okay? All right, let's move forward to number 8. Number 8, we are dealing with decimals here. And the key with decimals is making sure that they are lined up. So here we have 1300ths, and here we have 5 and 7/10. So what we want to do here is, because of this, the leading number is less than the second number, so we have an integer situation. So we're going to make this plus a negative, and then therefore we see then that we take the greater absolute value, the difference between it and the lesser absolute value. So this will be -5/7, and the difference between that and 1300ths. Okay, lining up the decimal points. Now we can move forward. This would be 10. This would be 6. 10 minus 3 is 7. 6 minus 1 is 5. And therefore 5 and the greater would be negative. Okay, now let's move forward to number 10. Number 10, it says Tubs of ice cream are delivered to a store at a temperature of 36 and 7/10 Fahrenheit. Okay? The ice cream is stored in a negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit freezer. When a tub is brought out of the freezer, its temperature is 22 and 2/10 Fahrenheit. Write the difference between the temperature of the ice cream after the ice cream is in the freezer and before it is in the freezer. Okay, so let's take a look. The tub of ice cream is delivered to the store at a temperature of 36 and 7/10. That's upon delivery, okay? The ice cream is stored at negative 40 degrees. That's when it is stored. When the tub is brought out of the freezer, its temperature is 22 and 200ths, and this is when it is out of the freezer, okay? This is when it's delivered or before the freezer, okay? So write the difference between the temperature of ice cream after the ice cream is in the freezer and before it is in the freezer. So here it is after the freezer, and here it is before the freezer. Let's see. Write the difference of the difference between the ice cream after the ice cream is in the freezer and before it is in the freezer. All right, let's take a look. So this is before, and they ask for a difference. All right, so that's before, this is after. So we have here, we have here, and we have here. So we know that the ice cream at this point, now the issue here is this number represents the change in the ice cream, okay? So if we want to talk about the change in the ice cream, we know that from its delivery and its use, the change in the ice cream is that it went down. So that would be negative 14 and 5/10 degrees. The ice cream is not the same, all right? The temperature has changed by 14 degrees. And which direction did it change? It went down, okay? So that's why it would read the change or the difference is negative 14 and 5/10, okay? That is our lesson for today. Therefore, I'll see you in the morning. Bye.